I'm really pissed off right now. I'm really angry and I'm really heated. And I'm angry and I'm heated because my boundaries have been violated by a woman, not by a man, by a woman. Now, we are doing some pretty intense work this evening over at my page on Facebook, okay? And you are welcome to just like check out what's going on there. I have everything posted publicly, okay? So you don't need to be friended up with me in order to view it, but I created a safe space for men to bring forward their feelings, raw, uncensored, whatever they want to bring in, because it's so essential that men have safe spaces to express what they're feeling, no matter how ugly it may get, and to know that they won't be rejected, that they're not going to be attacked, and that this loving space can be held around them. Now, I have to make something very clear for all of you. If you're going to be participating over on Facebook with me, you need to respect the parameters of what I set down. I'm very fierce about this. What I'm doing is kind of like online panchakarma work. And in panchakarma, it is so important that you create a safe space where somebody can be just totally held and they can let go and they can let it all out and they can let their trauma out. Now we're doing it in an online format, okay? So that's a little different, I get it, okay? And it's unusual. I let men come first, okay? It doesn't mean that women aren't gonna get their time. You are. Have I not been holding space for all the difficult stuff? I don't see anybody else that has come forward who has been willing to address these problems we're facing in society. I took this upon myself to do this. I'm creating the room for it. I know how to hold this space. I'm excellent at holding space. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner. I go to real deep places with people doing trauma healing work. I have over 27 years experience in this field. And I have to say, Stephanie Cox, this little twat, ignored the boundary that I laid down. I made it very clear. I said, women, you are here to witness. If you don't know what witness means, you need to go and look it up. Witness means you zip it. You keep your mouth shut and you just witness. You hold the space for men. If you cannot do that, do not enter my space. If you cannot do that, then this is not for you, okay? You have to be willing to face the fire test of truth. That means you have to be willing to see what the reality is. And are you going to be dinged? Are you going to be activated? Yes, you are. But if you can trust the medicine, there's something that can come through there for you. Now, I want to open up with what came in initially. Earlier this morning, I put up a post on my Facebook at Shannon Elsom, E-L-S-O-M. Okay, please follow along. I think it can really benefit a lot of people, give them something to think about, even if you don't want to like actually dive into it and get involved. It's okay. It can be something that you can hold space around and just sort of see like what dings in you. I am going to activate you. It's just part of it. That's what we do. We crack you open in panchakarma, okay? And so you can really do deep, 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 deep healing. So I put up this post where I said that, you know, I really believe that men can be leaders and that I really believe that they have the capability of stepping up and that I was willing to make the investment, okay? Real simple thing, and I did it playfully, okay? I know, I've tapped the pulse of men, and men, they just want you to make them a sandwich, okay? Is it that big of a deal, ladies? Is it really that big of a deal to make a man a sandwich? Is it? I make a mean sandwich. I have no problem making a sandwich for men, okay? I do it all the time. I have no issue with it. I don't think I'm so entitled that I should never make a man a sandwich. How ridiculous, okay? We need to really like look at what's going on here because there's a lot of distortion. And I'm sorry, but women, a lot of you are trying to be too important. And you're forgetting about the role that men play in your lives, how much they do hold it down, and maybe the reason why you're having difficulty with men, you feel like you can't trust men, you feel like there's not men who relate to you, or you're perpetually single, is because you are actually not in a space where you even make it approachable, you know, for men to want to connect with you, want to interact with you because of this disrespectful attitude. Now, I was really disappointed because I said, you know, if you're with me and you're willing to show men support, you know, that you believe that they can step up to the plate and lead, just put on, you know, the comments, hashtag sandwich maker for life. All right. And then I asked you to share the post on your page, and, you know, just stand in solidarity with men. I was the only person for a long time. Okay. I was the only person who stood up for men in this way. All right. And then Angela Jalili got on there, and she did make a comment where, you know, she talked about all the stuff she usually does for men, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I got to haze you a little bit. I mean, this is what women do. Well, I do this, and I do this, and I do. It's like, yeah, sure, we do. And there's a lot of things that men do that you never give them credit for, you know? Who do you think fixes your car when it breaks down? Who do you think does all the tech work, you know? Who do you think is in charge of building the infrastructure? You know, men do a lot. They do a lot. And, you know, what really pissed me off about Stephanie Cox coming into the space, I'm sorry, I'm calling her out. I'm going to haze her. I'm going to haze her because what's really ironic is her being a feminist and being all, oh, pro women empowerment. I'm the one who set the boundary. She violated my boundary, and I'm fierce about having my boundaries violated. And I encourage you to go over there and look at what I put up. I want you to see it. This is why men are having an issue with women. She was plain stupid. I told her very specifically, multiple times, she would not stop. She kept commenting like 5 times. Then another woman jumped in. I'm over it. And she was like, oh, well, women never have space. No, you always have space, women. You always have space. There are no spaces for men that have been created in society for them to feel safe to just like let down their guard and release the burden that they're carrying. You're selfish and you're entitled. And that's why, you know, you have the problems you do with men. And I have to tell you something right now, and you're not going to like it. All you women running around calling yourself divine feminine, you're not. You're not. In fact, it's interesting because as I was sweeping and mopping the floors today, I came across this as I was thinking about relations between men and women and just sort of how women show up in terms of their relationships with men. And I got this. So women, go back 3 spaces. You need more purification work, okay? Angela did come around eventually, and she said, okay, fine, you know? And she put hashtag sandwich maker for life. She put the, you know, post on her page. She shows support for men, okay? And, you know, I just want to say something. Doing the healing work I've done for a long time, I'm fiercely protective of the people that I'm working with, okay? And if you come into my space, just be prepared. I will have no mercy on you. I won't. And I'll call you out like this, okay? I'll call you out on YouTube. I encourage you, go ahead. If you have something you want to say to her about what she did, you should let her know, you know, how you feel about it. I think community needs to come together to kind of call people out when they're inappropriate, and certainly when it comes to violation. Yeah, and that was a violation. And I even told her it was a violation. I said, this is a violation of boundaries. And she kept pushing. Horrible, sickening. It makes me sick. She totally disrespected the healing space. And you are not welcome anymore. You are not welcome anymore. You are not welcome anymore unless you can get very clear and you can make an apology. You need to apologize to the men for disrupting their healing space. But I think you'll probably have a hard time with that because you're very entitled. Yep, you're very entitled and you think it's all about you, and it really isn't. Now, what needs to be understood about the divine feminine is that the masculine leads. We have to let the men lead. And this is exemplified in Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, the masculine is the avenue. They provide the way through for the creative feminine to manifest, okay? So first, you have to let the man open the way, which means you have to trust him. You have to trust him to open the way, which means you have to take the fire test of truth, like I did, where I put up a post and I said, I believe in you. I believe you can lead. I see this in you. You're all leaders. Do you know how important this is? Do you know how important it is that men feel like we believe in them? They need this. I don't blame them. I think it's deplorable. I really do. I think I'm so disappointed in you women. I am. And this is the reason why I tend to prefer to hang out with men, because at least they're real, they're honest, they're direct. They don't play these games. They don't think it's all about them all the time. And yeah, I'm not saying that men are perfect, but it really bothered me that I made it very clear that women would have their time. And she was just like, we never get our time. Yeah, we never get our time. I'm over it. I really am. Don't come at me like that in a healing space, because I feel violated right now. I feel violated. You violated me, Stephanie. You violated me. So have that as a reflection. Have that as a reflection. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the toxic feminism. I am. I'm so tired of it. And if you want to call yourself a divine feminine, that means that you have to be able to let yourself go and do a trust fall. And you have to trust that a man is going to be there to hold that space for you, that he's going to be able to hold that space to catch you. Now, you know, it's dicey. We can't always be promised that they will be there. Sometimes we'll fall, you know, but that's the way love is. There's always a risk, okay? There are no safe spaces in love, and you have to be brave to enter the house of love. And Ted just shook his head. Yes, he agrees with me. All right. So I'm not happy right now. I'm actually really like enraged. I'm very enraged. I don't like this when people violate the healing space. It really bothers me because myself, I have dealt with a lot of boundary violation in my own trauma that I've had to heal. And so I get like just so pissed off about this. And so now I feel really lit. I'm so angry right now. It was just so entitled. This whole energy that is in the collective, greed. We are dealing with the spirit of greed, and we need to exercise it, man, because it's what's causing all the imbalance and all the issues that we are facing collectively. And it's a big problem. And that was greedy. That was greedy of her. And it's ugly. That was men's time. It's men's time. I'm holding a space for men tonight. Women, it is not your time. Your opinions are not welcome. You do not get to say anything. You're meant to witness. Now, if you are able to witness and hold the space, you're going to feel this fire rising in you, right? It's going to activate you, and that's going to show you something. But fire can be a purification. It can be deeply, profoundly healing, right? It'll show you something about yourself. I don't know why people won't just trust me at this point. Isn't it clear? Everything that I've been bringing forward, it's like it's bringing people together. It's giving them an opportunity to communicate about really tough stuff. But you need to understand that first and foremost, I have over 27 years experience working as a transformational body worker, as an Ayurvedic practitioner, as an energy worker, and a Reiki practitioner. And let me tell you, if you cross me in my healing space that I'm holding, I will come at you. And I kind of hope that the men will look you up. I still have one of her comments is on one of the posts. So, you know, if you want to tell her how you feel about it, I welcome you to, because I think people need to be held accountable. I felt very violated, and I know that the men were upset by that, and that's a big problem. Okay. So, you know, none of this, I'm a divine feminine, because if you weren't willing to take that trust fall, if you weren't willing to say, you know what, I believe in you. I believe that you can lead, you know, I'm really sad for you. I am. I'm really, really, really sad for you. I am. And in fact, there were only 2 men that actually have stepped up to the plate to offer to lead. Okay. So we know that there's inequities here. We know that there's things that are imbalanced, but it's sort of like, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because why do men feel like, well, I don't even want to step up to the plate and try to lead? But we did have two, okay? We had Jay Harrington and we had Bill Catnip Chaplin, okay? So I encourage you to go to my Facebook page. I asked them both if they would put either their PayPal or their Venmo, you know, in the comments on the post. It's all on my page there. I plan once they do, I'm going to buy them a sandwich, okay? I would like it if all of you showed them some support, because, you know, I want you to think about it. When you've been at a place in your life where you've had a hard time, right? And you've been really struggling with something, and maybe your confidence has been low, or you've been going through a lot of stuff. Doesn't it really mean something to you if somebody just says, you know what? I believe in you. You got this. You can do it. I know you can. I know you can. That means everything. How do you think it feels to sit there and put yourself out there and be like, okay, you know, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, I'm going to step up to the plate, and to just get no support? I'm really disgusted right now. In general, I'm really disgusted with people. I am. The further I go into this, the more I'm disgusted with people. There's a reason why I had to take yesterday off, and why I'm kind of like keeping these sessions a little like lighter this week, because we are in some pretty heavy, deep processing work here. And I'll explain momentarily why I had to like pull back for a day. I may have to do it, you know, here and there. I may have to dip in, dip out. And there's a reason for that. You need to understand the space that I'm holding. It's a lot, okay? And I'm processing a lot as I'm working through it, because that's what it's like when you go through any kind of panchakarma work. You're in it with the person, like you're right in it with them. And so it automatically is going to activate things in you, and it's going to bring stuff up in you. And so, you know, the other day it just got to be too much for me. I felt like I had the weight of the world on my heart. And I just felt so much grief, and I'll illuminate that in a minute. But yeah, ladies, go back 3 spaces. You're not ready yet. You're still dealing with the gross cup, ladies. You're not ready. You are not ready for this transformation work. You are not ready to rise up into your divine feminine. Welp. Sorry, not sorry. And I don't care if you have a problem with me about it and go, oh, she's betraying us. No, you betrayed me. You violated my boundaries. You betrayed me in my healing space that I'm holding. If it's not for you, if it's too activating, get out. Don't come into my space. You entered my space that I set the boundaries around, and you violated, and you pushed, and you pushed, and you pushed, and you pushed. And you wonder why you always feel like men violate you. Maybe it's a reflection. Maybe it's a reflection. Did you ever think about that? Because I'll tell you what, I love hanging out with men. I always feel like I'm held down by men. I feel like they got my back. I really trust men for the most part. You know, most of my really good friends tend to be men. Just saying. Just saying. And I've also had a lot of men, you know, warn me about things, warn me about certain men, like, don't deal with this guy, or, you know, you should watch out for this. You know, if you treat men with respect, they'll treat you with respect. But if you're disrespectful, you get what you give, man. So I got a couple assignments for you, ladies, for the next 3 days, starting tomorrow, okay? I got a couple assignments for you. First of all, you're going to practice a sandwich seva, all right? I want you to think of a man in your life. This could be your current partner. This could be somebody you're in a situationship with, okay? Because we have a lot of people that are in situationships right now just because of everything that happened with the whole scamdemic, okay? And, you know, we have, obviously, we're finding out as we've been diving into this material that there's like kind of a lot of gray area when it comes to relationships right now. But, you know, if you're living with a man, or, you know, you have a romantic relationship with a man or whatever, I want you to think of what is his favorite sandwich, okay? And I want you to surprise him, okay? I don't want you to like go and ask him or anything, you know. Hopefully you know what his favorite sandwich is. And if you don't, just try to think of something really special. Don't skimp on it, okay? Go the full 9, all right? And I want you to just totally like, just cater to him, okay? Lay it on thick, you know, make him a really delicious sandwich. Don't skimp on anything. You know, maybe even give some fries with it, you know, something nice to drink, you know, a milkshake, whatever. Just make the man a sandwich, okay? And then what I also want you to do, all right, set aside your stuff for now. It's not your time, all right? It's not your time right now, ladies. It's time for men. Then I want you to write a letter. And I want you in this letter to thank that man for everything he has done for you. I want you to thank him for all the ways he has shown up for you. And I want you to express what you see in him as his best qualities. You are not to bitch at him. You are not to complain. You are just to really help him see his strengths so that he can feel empowered, all right? So that's the first sandwich thought song, all right? The other sandwich thought song, there's 2 parts. You need to do the same thing, only you need to go and find a man who's on the streets, who's homeless, and you need to feed him. And you also need to include a letter. You need to write a letter giving this man the strength and the courage to stand up, to rise up, to believe in himself, okay? So he can feel inspired to carve a better way forward. So that's the first part of your purification. You need to do the sandwich seva, all right? If you're not willing to do it, this is not the space for you, and you are not a divine feminine. You're not ready for it, and continue to deal with scrubs because that's what you deserve. That's what you deserve. The other part that really came in is the necessity to, you know, start doing this purification work around clearing the energy in your space. So I want you for 3 days to do deep floor washes, okay? And these are like a purification floor wash. I'm going to give you my recipe, okay? Because it'll be like some good juju that we can build. It's very intentional. And then from my base recipe, I want you to include in it any elements that you feel, you know, that feel right to you. Please trust your intuition, or trust, you know, medicines that you're used to working with within your own ancestral tradition. But I made a floor wash that included rose petals, bay leaf, clove, and lemon juice, okay, and tulsi, which is holy basil, okay? And it's just to kind of like clear out, you know, any negative energy, bring in a little bit of sweetness, and just sort of lighten the atmosphere in the home. So this will be especially helpful if you are living with someone, if you're in a situationship, if you're in a relationship, romantic relationship, maybe you've been dealing with some challenges, maybe you're moving through some pretty heavy emotional stuff. Okay, it's excellent for that. And while you are mopping the floor every day, you're going to do it 3 days in a row, okay? You are going to focus on the challenges that you're facing in your connection with this person, and just let it be a time for you to just sort of meditate as you do this cleaning. It's actually really potent work, okay? Please do this. It's not a lot to ask, all right? And if you want to help support me, I don't know if they will. I haven't seen either of them do it yet, okay? Which that pretty much shows you the way men are. If you step up to the plate, they'll be like, no, you know, I don't mind. You don't need to buy me a sandwich, okay? Because I asked Jay Harrington and Bill Catnip Chaplin to, you know, put their payment info down. So far, they haven't. But if they have, I just want to let you know, Jay, Bill, I am more than happy to buy you a sandwich with all the works, and I'll send, you know, $10 to each of your accounts, okay? It's my pleasure to do it. It's my honor to do it. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being willing to actually like step up to the plate. I knew you could. And I hope that other men will too, okay? And if you also, you know, Others of you in the community, if they do put up their payment information there, I really just want to encourage you to really just show them what happens when, you know, a man is willing to step up to the plate. And I would like you to bless them up too, you know, give them $10. Is it a lot to ask? And, you know, for me, with Angela, if Angela doesn't have enough money to do that, I don't care. I'll cover both sandwiches. It doesn't matter. All right. This is what it takes. If you cannot even just show somebody that you believe in them, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. And I'm pretty angry. I'm pretty angry for men, I have to say. I'd be pissed off too. I wouldn't feel like being generous to you either, you know. I wouldn't. So you all need to kind of like get a little reflection. And so that's your assignment for the next 3 days. You need to do some purification work, all right? Very, very important. The other thing is right now, which is my main point for tonight, and then I will be kind of moving out of this space because now I got some stuff that I need to process because I got really riled and I'm not happy about it. And that is something I think you all need some reflection on, because you saw that I was kind of bringing in this piece about like, well, how much take on for, you know, your bloodline? What is the weight of your bloodline? And it was really, that was a really interesting thing to see that play out. It's especially interesting to me because I have Native background. I have Comanche background. It was really interesting to see people list, you know, how much they thought I should take on for their bloodline. Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting reflection. You know, you are on Native land, America. You are on Native land. It's not your land. It's our land. And we're reclaiming it. We are reclaiming it. And I want you to know that tomorrow I'm going to be bringing in some stipulations of some things that need to be done for you to cleanse the bad blood you have with us. We're tired of hearing you all bitch about what you need, what you don't got, what isn't right for you. Meanwhile, you know, our people are like forced onto reservations. You're abusing our land. You're not respecting sacred ground. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that you would actually think we have to take on any of your ancestral burden. Yeah, you're pissed, huh, Ted? Ted's not happy. Okay, Ted. Ted needs to leave the room for a minute. You need a big reflection around this. You really do. And the reason why I had to take a day off, and I had to just like allow myself to feel what I feel. And it was interesting because I saw a lot of stuff on YouTube about like, get back in it, get back in it. I think you need to feel the weight. I think you need to feel the weight. I think you need to feel the burden. You don't know what it feels like to be really pressed, okay? So what I want you all to do, this is your other assignment between now and tomorrow. I want you to go to my Facebook page at Shannon Elsom, E-L-S-O-M. I want you to go to the very top. There's a pinned post there, okay? There's a pinned post at the top. It's one of those copy and paste things, you know, where it's like, give me one word, you know, if you're my friend and how we met, this kind of thing. You can go ahead and read that if you want, okay? It's not really that important, but it does have a little spiciness to it. I want you to click on the person's name who started that post, okay? The name is Selena, S-E-L-E-N-A, Arredondo, okay? It's right at the top of my page. It's pinned there. Please click on it. Your assignment is you need to scroll through You need to scroll through her page. Scroll. And when you come to the videos of her granddaughter, please watch them. Okay? Please watch them. Please listen. Please witness. And you scroll all the way down until you get to the purple post. Okay? And then you'll understand what it means to feel really pressed. You'll understand why the theme was cash and prizes. And you'll understand how we're really feeling right now about you all being on our land. Because we're about ready to shake you off like fleas if you can't shape up. And that's real. You better be aware. It's real. It's going to happen. So you better shape up or ship out. We don't want to hear your complaining anymore. We don't want to hear your bitching anymore. It's time for you to do your part, do your own healing work, and get it done. And I'm not taking on any load for you. None of us are. No one rides for free. You really need this reflection. Please promise me you'll do it. You really need this reflection. Cash and prizes. Cash and prizes. Cash and prizes. Cash and prizes. You really, really, really need this reflection. And when you go to that top post, it's pinned. I have it pinned. It's all the way at the top. If you have any doubt, it's right there at the top. Click on her name, Selena Arredondo. She's Anishinaabe. She's Anishinaabe. She's Native. Okay? You need this reflection. You need this reflection. Let's see if you're fierce enough to take in the medicine. I think it'll really humble you. And then I'll be back tomorrow to let you all know how you can make it right.